Limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, January 14th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick Rick, sitting right there, is going to do some sports. Slickster, how are you?
Doing good today, Big D. Doing good.
Very good. Rick Delgado's here. He's got some news. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
How was your, today's Tuesday. How was your Tuesday?
My Tuesday was okay. Nothing special. Nothing crazy happened, which is nice.
Okay.
Other than, I still got my little hitch in my giddy up, but I'm doing good.
How's your dog doing?
Oh, he's fabulous.
Good. Very good. Vinnie Mac is back. Vinnie Mac, how was your birthday? This is a birthday trip you just took, right?
Yeah.
Little wifey birthday trip?
I went down to Del Boca Vista, down there in Florida.
Easy for you to
Had a little break there. Saw the Seinfelds. Yeah, it was great. It's good to get away, but it was cold down there.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was it, like 60s?
Little yeah, exactly. 65 to 72. It was freezing.
You had to put your parka jacket on.
All the locals wearing parkas, hoodies, gloves, and everything, and then the tourists out there eating outside without iced coffees, freezing. I'm like, you must
at
be
the beach in bikinis, yeah.
That's exactly what was happening. Pretty entertaining.
All right, very good. Vinnie Mac series got some thoughts and some news as well. Welcome on in wherever you're watching. On Real America's Voice, of course, on all the apps, and of course on social media at LFS6B, at Real AM Voice. Glad you're in. On a Tuesday night, and of course, some stuff going on in the news, some things we didn't get to last night. Those of you who joined me this morning, 4 hours and 24 minutes. We watched almost every second of the confirmation of hearings started this morning. Now, a couple of them Doug Collins got pushed off. Doug Burgum got pushed off. Not that I have much interest in watching Doug Burgum. I don't even want him for the damn position, but whatever. We're going to get him. So, but we did get Pete Hegseth today.
And that was a show in itself.
And I would say Pete Hegseth was thinking, he knew he had to go in and he was going to have to argue about his position on women in the military. I think about an hour and 20 minutes in, he was rethinking his position on women on the damn Armed Services Committee.
They were
Holy
brutal.
cow. Talk about, it's like 4 drunk Karens at the bar trying to tell you about why they, still got it going on. God, shut up. Just get out of here.
A lot of anger, a lot of anger. What are they so mad at? Just ask the question. What are you so mad at
Well,
him for?
because it's all a show to the Dems. It's all a show. They're there to just put on a show. They have absolutely zero interest in the candidate. They have zero interest in what he has to say. They are there in full attack mode. Tear him down, attack. Tim Kaine. Hello, Tim. Hey, Tim.
Check, please.
Check, please. If I remember, Tim, you ran with one Hillary Clinton, who's married to one BJ, Bill Jefferson Clinton, who was getting, as his name and his initials say, BJ's in the Oval Office. Did you have a lot of discussions with Hillary about decency that you went after Pete Hegseth today about? Did you have those discussions with her?
Yeah, they never popped up.
Yeah, you didn't seem to be that interested in what was popping up back then as you are now.
No, it would have been a mouthful.
Yeah.
About Pete Hegseth today. Which is just,
rinse and repeat.
He just launches in, and takes his whole 7 minutes to be a dirtbag.
You know what I found insulting through the whole thing? Was that they kept talking about, I've sat on this committee and I voted for Republicans and Democrats, 4 different, people, no problem. I don't have any issues with that. And I have got a problem with you. And I'm thinking to myself, all of them failed. They all failed in their job. They've caused all these problems. Here's a guy from the outside who's coming in and taking a whole different approach, clean. And you're saying you voted for all these people that failed, and now you're giving him a hard time? I was like a complete contradiction of terms.
They send in their staged wackadoo protesters to stand up there like a minute apart, every 26 words, you go, then you go. We got the guy in the ponytail, we got the crazy lady with the pink hair, we got these nut jobs all in there holding their signs, and of course they got them scheduled out on when to stand up. It's just all so staged and so obvious. And they handled him. They brought him out fine, and then we got the thing going. And Pete was great.
Yeah,
he really was
spot on.
He was great. They didn't lay a glove on him, but Elizabeth Warren. She's about as appealing as hemorrhoids. They should run her. They should run her for president next time because she's about on the same level as appeal as Kamala Harris was.
A lot of charm there.
And her Mazie Hirono. And who sounded, by the way, the irony of Mazie Hirono's line of questioning is that she actually sounded drunk while she was asking Pete Hegseth about drinking on the job. And I swear to God, this is true. If you only listened to Mazie Hirono question Pete Hegseth and you didn't have the video, and then later on you saw the video and this was the video you saw of the questioning, you would think that this is absolutely real. Here it is. We don't have any audio.
Yeah. She's like Karen Bass.
Who's that?
The mayor of L.A. we played last night at the end of the show.
Oh yeah, she's got nothing to say.
Another winner.
So again, you would think this is the video, and this is what it looked like if you just heard the audio first. Here it is.
Are regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC.
Yeah, so that's what you would have seen that and thought, oh yeah, that's what I heard this afternoon when I was listening in the car. She sounded like that's exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
You would think that was probably real.
You know what? I was going to send it, but I decided not to, and good thing, because it turns out it's not real.
It is not real, but it did take some. It took when I saw it, I thought, I wonder if I blinked and didn't watch the screen at this time.
Didn't take any imagination, man. It looked like it was real. Besides the fact that we're going to take over Greenland, so that was part of her line of questioning, right? Are you going to take over Greenland with Trump? Are you going to do that?
I love when they go. So she goes, Mr. Hegseth, would you condone the? And of course he's listening and goes, well, sir, I'll take that as a yes. Take this as a yes, sweetheart. How about that? Here, this is the picture that really, picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, I don't know if it was 1,000 words, but this picture right here is worth the entire day because this is basically what Pete Hegseth.
Oh yeah,
That's beautiful.
This is what Pete Hegseth was thinking about an hour into this thing.
Yeah.
Actually, we do have that cut that I sent that you just showed the picture of there. This is cut number 8. Now keep in mind, Damon, like your other video that you just played, this may or may not be accurate from today from Senator Hildebrand from New York. It's cut number 8. Take a look.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it.
She did look like a witch in this. I mean, she looked kind of scary. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she's drinking.
I mean,
too.
between her, Elizabeth Warren, Mazie Hirono, I'm thinking, man, Pete's thinking, forget the women in the military discussion. How about let's discuss women on this committee?
Exactly.
How about maybe we should have none of them here either? My God. Just make you want to take a shower, all of them.
I was watching one of the women out in question, asking questions, and I'm looking at what she's looking at, and she's turning pieces of paper. On those pieces of paper looked like it was completely scripted. Not your typical notes or bullet points. It looked like it was literally scripted. She kept looking down, reading the script. And can you imagine what they went through to script all of these people to attack Pete? Just the Schumer and the rest of them in their DNC war room, not giving a hoot about anybody else and how it destroys the country or hurts someone or whatever, to script it and then go forward with it, with the way they presented it. It's just so phony and orchestrated.
And I said this on the stream, and I actually really do believe it. I don't, maybe it didn't come into effect, or because maybe we didn't have any squishy Republicans. I mean, we have so many of them. But the tact that the Democrats take, like even if we had somebody on the other side, on our side, who was like a Mitt Romney-esque squishy Republican who was kind of on the fence on Pete, when you listen to Warren, Hirono, Gillibrand, and the other wackadoo, I can't remember her name, you listen to the four of them in that question, and then you listen to Tim Kaine.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Kaine's whose son got arrested in the Antifa riots, who ran with Hillary Clinton, whose husband is a serial sexual abuser, getting BJs in the Oval Office, is going to tell us about decency? Really?
Yeah.
If you're a squishy, even if you're a squishy Republican and who thought, man, I don't know where I am here on this, you're like, you know what? I'm voting for him just because these people are so off their rocker. Like they end up pushing them the other way, but I don't think that's the case, because I think as Joni Ernst came out today afterwards and said she's now a yes vote on Pete.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, you're damn right you're a yes vote on Pete. You know why you're a yes vote on Pete? Not because Pete kicked it out of the park today, which he did. You're a yes vote on Pete because you know damn well if you're not, you will have real primary challenges for the first time in your career because you're not used to that. None of these Republicans are used to real opposition in their face. And that's a credit to all of the shows who talked about this, all of the people who contacted her, all of you who made social posts about it. She knows. You're damn right you're a yes vote on Pete, and you're going to be a yes vote on all of them, and all of you are going to be a yes vote on all of them. So when you see these people sailing on through, it's because of all of us talking about this and putting the pressure on these phony balonies that makes them a yes vote on all these people. Because they're not used to real primary challenges, real opposition in their face. They need to be bullied, some of them, sometimes, and say, okay, you're not going to vote no? Well, we got the richest guy in the world here who's going to bankroll no matter what we need to make sure you have real opposition for the first time in your career.
It's exactly what we need. This is what we've needed for a long time. We've needed someone to step up and say, we got to get together again. And if you're not going to be part of the team, we're going to make life miserable for you. You're out. What impressed me about Pete, though, through this whole thing, I mean, and there was just attack after attack after attack, like you've been describing, but this guy was candid. You know, he wasn't referring to notes. You know, he knows the content, he knows the information, he was comfortable, and he was candid through the whole thing. That's what impressed me the most about him, the sincerity and how candid he was through all of the questions, even military questions. You know, I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, I thought he knocked it out of the park. I don't think they laid a glove on him, not one of them. And although they tried,
they did try.
It was a pretty weak effort, and it was just more how down in the dirt can they get?
I'm not a general.
It was just hysterical sky screaming from the left, right? That's all it was.
I mean,
right.
Because they didn't really, like you said, they didn't lay a glove on him. They embarrassed themselves. They looked idiotic. Most of them didn't even know the material that they're talking about. I've got a clip from Pocahontas that kind of points that out. We'll play that in a little bit.
When you make it through 7 minutes of Mazie Hirono without literally bursting out laughing, you should just, it should be, okay, you're approved. At the end, there should be somebody that comes out in a suit and tie and says, oh, I am, and you're now approved. That was it. You were on...
Yeah, you made it.
No soup for you.
We didn't tell you, but you made it 7 minutes and actually looked serious at her as she made a fool of herself, and we're able to keep a straight face. You get the job. Thank you. This is now over.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Just amazing.
That should have been what happens. All right, just getting started live from Studio 6B, 13 past the hour. We'll talk more about the Hegseth hearing today and some other news, sports, all coming up. Boom, 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 boom. Chat. What's going on a Tuesday night? Most of you are like, damn it, I was with you for 4 hours. I'm sick of you.
What if
you should try 2 hours?
You should try 5 years.
It's only been a couple hour break. Welcome on back, everybody.
When they said we might do another round of questioning, when they asked, the leader there, I was like, oh my God, not another round of questioning. You can't. I don't know if we could go through that again. So glad he said no. He was very good. I thought he handled it pretty well,
I thought he handled it fine, but I thought Wicker's opening statement was just, oh God. Just please, let's just get to the questions.
Every time they presented a letter to go into, the documentation there, he had another letter to contradict that. That's what I was impressed with. Every time that happened, he had something else.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Wicker fan, so I was biased going in.
Well, I thought it was simple.
He ran it fine, though. He ran it fine.
He did a simple job.
Once he stopped talking.
Yeah, when he's not talking, he's excellent.
Exactly.
It's a lot of people I know.
I think you're wonderful when you're not talking.
He was perfect. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever platform you're on. Nice shirt, Big D. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's available at livefromstudio6b.com. The 3/4 zip.
Looking very spicy.
Live from Studio 6B logo. Shirt.
Sure.
There's a new Inauguration Day shirt out that's out there too. That's pretty cool. That's available there as well. Hello, Tweet Potato on X. All of our friends on X, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Getter.
Who's up next? Do you guys know?
Pam Bondi tomorrow.
Oh, great.
I'll be streaming that as well.
Yeah, she's going to be fantastic. Yeah, the women did not serve themselves right.
God, it's like nails on a chalkboard times 10. Those four.
Pocahontas was foaming on each side of her mouth.
God.
She could not contain herself.
Why are these people still there?
Please,
I mean,
run her for
Pocahontas.
president, would you please, in 28?
That's really the wake-up call, though, Slick. Why are these people still there?
Why?
They clearly aren't acting in the best interest of the country. If they oppose him and have tough questions, I guess I can accept that, but not the way they did it, you know? There's a way to be sort of objective and not agree.
Nope. Get him.
Not just attack mode.
Yep.
$17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, Real America's Voice. Becky Snyder says that Bondi go. Yeah, Bondi goes, I believe, tomorrow. I'll be covering that hearing tomorrow, and that will be an interesting dynamic because the four bozos today, of course, I don't know if any of them are on the whatever committee's handling that, but I would advise the Democrat women on the panel to be you better bring your A game if you're going to go toe to toe with Pam Bondi.
She's sharp.
Because she will smoke you. She will smoke you and leave you lying in a puddle of your own sweat if you're going to go toe to toe with her. So I don't know who's on the whoever's on the committee, but try to get cute with her tomorrow, and I would say we're going to have some fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, they're working on
I
their
can't
script.
wait for Cash Patel.
Oh, man. That's
Cash
going to be fireworks.
Cash is another one.
Yeah.
that will
Cash is going to be the most entertaining.
Cash will have receipts for anything that could possibly come up.
Right.
Yeah, because chances are he knows stuff about them that they don't realize he knows.
Because the one thing I'll say about Pete today that he could have done, here's the thing that just makes you, if you're paying any attention to anything over the years, it just makes you laugh. As the Democrats today on the panel, what's the top concern? What's the thing they talked about the most? The thing they tried to defend the most? The things they were sure about and had pure definitions for the most? What was it? Women.
Yep.
They know what women are?
They know what women are, and they defend women today to the hilt.
And they can define them.
And they can define them. They care about them. They want to know where they should be, what they should be included in, what they should not be included in.
Wow.
They're all over it today. And as these phonies are questioning Pete Hegseth about women, and I am women. Do you know women are this and women are that? I was just waiting for one of those, when the glasses drop down and it's like na da 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 da, and it's one of those thug moments.
Yep.
I was waiting for Pete Hegseth to say, now I just want to clarify here. When you say woman, could you define who you're speaking of? I just wanted them to ask one of these phony gold-plated phonies, just one of them, who are so sure today about what a woman is and where she belongs and what her right, all of this. But for 4 years, in a Supreme Court justice, they couldn't tell us what a woman is.
Yep.
And they can play in men's sports, men can get pregnant. There's 16 million genders, but today, one. Only one, and we're focused on it. And it's women. It just drives you crazy. We're worried about audits today, too, by the way. Oh.
Yep.
Well, it gives you you think we were going to get it all. Oh, you're worried about spending now. Oh, you're worried about tracking the money now. Oh, you're worried about finding out where all this money goes. Wow. You guys are like different people today. Stunning what you're interested in.
It was a day of revelation.
Yeah, it's so interesting what they were all about today. Audits, money spending, making sure they can track where the money goes, qualifications, women. I mean, all of these things that, I don't know. They don't seem to have cared for 4 years and longer than that, but let's just take this administration for the conversation's sake. Amazing. What the turnaround. Amazing turnaround today.
It showed their obsession in DEI, CRT, LGBTQ, all of those things. Their obsession with these sensibilities as opposed to looking at this as what's best for the country or how we're going to be defended more properly. This is where all the questions seem to go. Not just women, but all of these issues. And Pete was awesome on the subject. I thought he had the strongest answers you can. I'm for all this, as long as the best person is put in place.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all would agree with that. None of us care. I'm for all of it. Just put the best person in.
Just put the damn best person in.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Pretty simple.
So, all right, 21 past the hour. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use at checkout at MyPillow. You can go to mypillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for this audience. Slick's got sports. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, let's recap the end of the Odds Maker weekend. One of the most disastrous weekends in my career at 1-5 this weekend with the picks. I have to own it. I was definitely a bonehead with the picks this weekend. I really lost my handle this season. I had a great year last year. Just can't figure it out. The Rams railroaded the Minnesota Vikings. They didn't even get off the bus, Minnesota. They lost 27-9 last night. Unbelievable. So Aaron was on the Rams. Big D was on the Rams. You might as well give Greg the win, too. Add him to Greg was 4-1 over the weekend. You might as well give him the Rams game as well because everybody was on the Rams last night except for me. I don't know what I was thinking, but, kind of warmed my heart a little bit because if you look at it, Los Angeles could use some good news. There's a lot of good people that are there. And to see their Rams win, good for them. Good for SoFi Stadium, which they probably won't be back because of the slatings, but good for them for that. And seeing the LA Chargers go out over the weekend on Saturday, they kind of laid an egg. I said, that's too big because it would have been nice if they would have won. It'd be good for morale for the town, the city, the state, for God's sakes. And but then seeing the Rams win, I says, and they had the the Los Angeles Fire Department sweatshirts the coaches had on the LAFD shirts, which I thought it was also a nice touch communicating that because again, we make fun about Los Angeles and what have you because we know they ain't the best people running that state, but there are a lot of good people, friends of ours that live there, and I know Vin lived there. You lived there for some time.
Vin went to school there.
So
isn't Pepperdine like right in the somewhere close to all of what's going on right now?
Pepperdine, as of right now, is 2 miles from the fires.
Boy. Wow.
And I've got video from friends of mine whose houses either burned down or is the only house still standing in Pacific Palisades. Amazing. Yeah, just amazing to see a disaster at this level.
Yep.
Cars melted.
So our hearts go out to from 6B because that's our largest audience, right? Big D, at one time, that was our largest audience, the California viewers.
It was.
More viewers there. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but could very well be. So our hearts go out to them. Good for the Rams. I like the Rams. I'm going to root for them. I think Detroit's going to have a lot to say about that because they look really good. And also Buffalo looks good in the AFC, as does Baltimore. So, boy, a lot of great games coming up this weekend. Obviously, we'll have time. We'll do the odds makers Friday night, Big D. We'll have 4 games to pick. All games look to be really good. This weekend, there really weren't many close games. You just had that one, the Tampa Bay-Washington game was the only game with any drama in the last 2 minutes. The rest of the games were pretty much over by the third quarter. I mean, if not the half, like last night. And even the Denver game, against Buffalo, that game was over in the first quarter. So NCAA basketball men's in action tonight. Number 1, Auburn on the court, leading Mississippi State 52-37, 13 to go there in the second half. Ole Miss over Alabama 41-40. That'd be number 4, Alabama. 13 to go there in the second half. We got DePaul over Marquette 50-48, 11 to go there in the second. Also in the second, Kentucky over Texas A&M 36-32. Hit the ice. We got the Bruins blanking the Lightning 4-0, 12 to go there in the second. Also in the second, 8 to go. Stars and Maple Leafs knotted at 1. Sharks over the Red Wings 2-1 out in Detroit, 5 to go there in the second. 9 to go in the second. Penguins over the Kraken 2-1. Caps over the Ducks 2-0. That's also in the second. As is the Blue Jackets and the Flyers tied at 1. No score, Panthers and Devils, end of 1. And the Islanders at home, no score there in the first period. Good time for a quick one.
Yeah, you got time. You take us right to the break.
All right, well, some good news for Tim Tebow and his wife, Demi Lee. They announced pregnancy with their first child. The Tebows made the announcement on Tuesday. Ryan Gatos of Fox News. Tim Tebow and his wife, Demi Lee Tebow, announced on Tuesday they are expecting their first child. The Tebows shared a video on social media announcing that their child, Demi Lee, dressed in white, as Tim showed off the ultrasound photos of the impending child. I love Tim Tebow. He's a great guy. He's what all athletes should stand for. I wish his professional career would have went a little further, but man, he was a lot of fun. I wish him and his wife a
tough guy too.
Great pregnancy there, and obviously his wife a great pregnancy, and he'll be having a pregnancy too nowadays, right? The men go through a little too, not as much as the women.
Not today. Those Democrats were very clear today.
It's only women.
Yeah, I don't think Tim's having the baby. I clearly think Demi Lee will have it.
Very clear on what women are. Very clear on what women are today.
That's a wrap.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some news with Rick Delgado and with Vinnie Mac when we get back right after this.
Hey, I've got the Mark Wayne Mullen clip. It's like 3 minutes. Play the whole thing.
Yeah, we could play that. I thought that was a great moment.
He was awesome.
I'm not
It
really
was
like
fantastic.
I don't know if I'm like I don't know.
You don't like him?
No, it's not that I don't. I'm not like I just don't know everything about you know what I mean? Like I'm not.
There were a couple of our guys there that stepped up. Were great.
But I thought he was good today when that.
Yeah.
It was the right moment to pull that too.
Yeah.
Nice compliment in the YouTube channel for you, Big D. Staff Sergeant Arby at live from Studio 6B. Thanks for being our C-SPAN with the hearings. We now call the morning show D-SPAN. That's got a nice ring there, Staff Sergeant.
I like that.
Yeah, I like Arby. He's a good man.
Yeah, I'm going to cover as many of them as I can.
I watched it. Are you today? That's how I got my coverage. I heard you jumping in a couple of comments in there, letting some people have it. You didn't hold back.
Got to do what you got to do. It's phonies.
That's what they are. Phonies.
Chris Soames, he says, that fruitcake they carried out today looked like Delgado. In the YouTube chat. I don't know what fruitcake he's talking about. But
I don't know either.
Today looked like Delgado.
Oh, the fruitcake. Oh, meaning one of the guys they escorted out of the hearing?
No,
oh, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you weren't in D.C. this morning, were you, Delgado?
He wouldn't be protesting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you use the propulsion machine to get down there quick?
Yes.
Okay.
I was droned in.
They carried that guy out hands and feet, man. It was pretty entertaining.
That's a good one right there. Oh, man. Oh, that was good.
Delgado got dragged out. Pete, talk about UFOs.
The clip's not too long. It's okay.
Oh, man. That is too cute.
I did enjoy it, Bo. I thought it was pretty entertaining in many ways because of the confrontations. It was entertaining TV, not like your typical ones where paint's peeling on the wall. It was kind of fun to watch them suffer. Pocahontas, I'm not a general. Those kinds of comments are just,
Did you hear Tuberville
Great.
right after that?
What?
Right after that, Tuberville was next.
Yeah.
And so he said, "Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to enter into the record an article here." And then he turned and he went, "General Heggs."
That was great.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, January 14th. Today's Tuesday, right? So it's 6 days away. Monday the 20th, Inauguration Monday.
Yep.
Wow.
6 days away.
Can't come sooner.
Right, Martin Luther
From
King.
inauguration.
Luther
And,
King Day.
of course, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage for you that day. I think I saw something today that we're going to have the road to the inauguration, which is going to be leading right up to Monday all week long as we get ready for a huge day next Monday right here, Real America's Voice. Just make sure. I mean, I tell you this all. You should be doing this anyways. There you go. 10 a.m. special coverage, 10 a.m. live on Monday. You should have it on every day, pretty much lock it in anyways, even if you're not in front of the TV, just have it on the background. But certainly, obviously, all weekend long and all day Monday, just lock it in. Real America's Voice. Steve and the gang will take you through the whole day. And by the time we get to you on Monday night, well, they'll have the balls going on. Now, Vin,
Yep.
you're going to be there.
That's right. I got my tux fitted yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to look like $100, I believe.
Now, yeah, you'll look like $79 for sure. Now, will you be able to report live? Is there any chance we can get live video from the Vin Master wherever you happen to be on Monday night, since we'll be live on the air? Like, you give us like the inside deal wherever you are.
Yeah.
Give you what's really happening there. I will be.
Skype onto your phone and you just hold it up wherever you are and we can just see what you're seeing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be in the restroom trying to sneak in.
Yeah, I don't even care. Yeah, it could be the bathroom. You could be well, no, you go with your hair looks good now because you won't be sneaking into the bathroom to like do anything because you just let it roll finally.
No, letting it go. Letting
Yeah.
it go, man.
Looks
I look
good.
au natural.
Yep.
I'll be in the front section at the inauguration, so I can do anything you want to do.
Okay.
You know, when Carrie Underwood's up there singing, happy to capture some of that.
I'm very happy about that. By the way,
Yeah,
Delgado
that's a
doesn't
good one.
care.
I really don't care.
Because he's a hater.
No,
I'm not a
she's
hater.
good.
He's a
just I
country
don't care.
hater.
Oh,
No, you're
come on.
you're
I
a
like
country
her.
Country
hater.
hater.
Come on.
You don't like Dolly Parton.
I don't like Dolly
You
Parton.
don't
You're
like.
right.
You don't like the Queen?
You don't like the well.
I don't like the Queen.
You don't like
Not
who
Queen,
else?
the band.
I don't know.
You don't like Hank Williams Jr. You told me.
Who said that?
Oh, you did? Am I wrong about that?
Of course you are.
I thought I saw a memo on that one.
all right,
Yes,
I tried to get
believe
by
it.
with that one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
You don't like
but you don't
Elvis.
like Carrie Underwood
I was
coming
listening.
out.
I was listening to Dwight Yoakam while you were still running
Dwight
around,
Yoakam.
playing in the mud puddles. in
Maybe
front of your
one
house.
day I'll be strong.
And the Grammy goes to Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Well, I'm happy about Carrie coming out in support of Trump and saying, "Yeah, I'm going to sing there." I think it's good.
Have
Well,
you
she was
seen-
attacked for it too.
She has gotten such a hard time, though.
Of
the
course.
liberal left social media. She's just performing at the presidential inauguration. By the way, no matter who wins an election, to be at an inauguration of a president of the United States, that's a pretty special moment if you're an entertainer. Forget about your politics.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a Republican or Democrat. It's great that she's supporting Trump. I love that. And I think she's awesome. But she has been filleted on social media and on TV shows about even doing it. What's wrong with these people?
I know. You know where she wasn't filleted? You thought this would have been the first place?
Where?
He's on The View this morning.
Oh, they went after her.
What are you talking about?
They did go after her.
Yes, they did.
I thought Whoopi said, no, I have to support her. I have to stand behind her.
That
No,
Whoopi did.
The
The other
View-
one went after her.
And then
Joy
Sonny said it
Behar.
too. Sonny said, I support it too. I'm not going to watch. I'm going to have a spa day, she said. But Whoopi said, I have to stand behind her. If she has a right to choose where she wants to perform. I mean, I saw it.
You missed out on Joy Behar.
Yeah.
Well, but Joy Behar, she probably didn't shave her back in the morning, so she's got other things to worry about.
She's waxing her back.
She's a
there.
hater.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. So,
I know, but what I'm saying
but
is
it was on
Whoopi
The View.
Whoopi and Not So Sunny didn't kill her.
Yeah, but there are 3 other people on there too.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Well, I know that the fake phony one who thinks she's a conservative didn't either.
Right.
So that's 3 out of the 5. I don't know about Blondie there who sits next to Whoopi. I don't know what she said.
Some of them went after her.
So just because Joy Behar did or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can't just say, well, they didn't go after her on The View.
Well, I was saying
Yes, they did.
specifically Whoopi and Not So Sunny Hostin, which are the two, you would have thought try to kill her. I mean, figuratively, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like hammer her over it, but they didn't.
But getting George Clooney to sing the national anthem, now that was a get. That was a big get for
I
them.
can't wait to hear that. Yeah. So Vin,
Yes.
so then you'll be at the front. You'll be close up for the swearing in,
I will be.
and then where will you be at night?
I will be at both balls, which are happening in the same venue at the convention center. I'll spend time at ball number 1. Thank you. And then I'll spend time at ball number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be at both balls. I can do whatever you want. I'll do interviews. I'll walk around. I'll give you behind the scenes. I'll let you know what the buffet looks like. Whatever it is.
I mean, this is what you get here that you won't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
We will bring you live coverage of what's in the buffet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would very much appreciate that.
I hear they're serving hush puppies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like
very
a balls
good.
to the walls night.
So
I got to talk. So.
and I'm sure you'll look good.
I will. I'll look like very good.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, and that is being done by who's doing the news? Rick Delgado's got the news. God,
I guess today I am.
Sound like Mazie Hirono there for a second.
All right, good.
What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, of course, the fireworks kicked off today for the confirmation hearing for Pete Hegseth, and as usual, the Democrats went bananas from Pocahontas to Mazie Hirono to you name it. All of them were out there with their own opinions. Not really many questions. Just trying to do the gotcha. They wanted to try and get a little ink for themselves, live up to their liberal friends, so they could say, "Look what I'm doing for you. I'm fighting for you." But, of course, as we talked about earlier, Hegseth hit it out of the park. They basically didn't lay a glove on him. And with help from some of the Republicans who were doing the questioning, big one that stepped up, I think this was the big, I want to say, statement of the afternoon came from Senator Markwayne Mullin out of the Republican out of Oklahoma, who basically went scorched earth on the Democrats regarding what they're talking about when they're questioning Pete Hegseth. This is cut number 6. It's a little bit long, but if you didn't see it, it's definitely worth your time. Check this out, cut number 6.
There's a lot of talk going about talking about qualifications and then about us hiring him if we are the board. But there's a lot of senators here I wouldn't have on my board because there is no qualifications except your age, and you got to be living in the state and you're a citizen of the United States to be a senator. Other than the fact we got to convince a lot of people to vote for us. And then when we start talking about qualifications for if you're qualified for it, could the chairman tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense? Mr. Chairman, could you tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense?
I'd be happy
I'll read it
for you to do that. Yeah.
Let me read it for you because I Googled
I was getting some advice from second in command.
I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications. I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian. That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon.
Oops.
But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show.
Ouch.
You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too. I have changed, but I'm not perfect. But I found somebody that thought I was perfect. And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you.
That's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
was excellent.
So well said. The hypocrisy so strong.
Yeah, and believe me, I was waiting for him to dive into some of the other things I know we've talked about here. Their slush fund to pay off, what do you call it, sexual, when they assault somebody.
Yeah.
Senators and the House members, they have that. Also, we saw Joni Ernst kind of turn around and start to support. Now she's a yes on Pete Hegseth. But I think one of the highlights for me has to be cut number 2. He referenced it a little bit earlier, talking about the senator out of the state of Massachusetts. We're talking about Pocahontas herself, Liz Warren. Here she is as she tries to get Pete. And then she ends up getting scalped. Cut number 2. Check this out.
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals.
There you go. Oh, that's what you're dealing with.
Yep.
That is the mental meatballs you're dealing with in the Senate, in the House. These are the types of people. They're basically dirtbags, but because they've been elected senator, they believe that they can look down their nose at everybody, and they think they're smarter than everybody. Obviously, a perfect example of someone who is not definitely smarter than anybody. You want to see somebody else who's definitely not smarter than anybody else?
There were plenty.
I'll point you to Democrat Senator Jack Reed, cut number 10. Surprisingly, he doesn't know what a JAG officer is. Did you see this clip? You have to see it to believe it. Cut number 10, Senator Jack Reed.
Respect for lawful authority. You have made statements to your platoon after being briefed by a JAG officer. Well, by the way, would you explain what a JAG off is?
I don't think I need to, sir.
Why not?
I can't believe he
Because
didn't know
the men and women watching understand.
Well, perhaps some of my colleagues don't understand.
It would be a JAG officer who puts his or her own priorities in front of the warfighters. Their promotions, their medals, in front of having the backs of those who are making the tough calls on the front lines.
Thank you, Senator.
Interesting.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Whoops.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Unfortunately, Senator Jack Reed doesn't know what a JAG officer is. And needed it explained to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he just exposed himself as
a JAG officer.
Literally.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to say it for the first time.
Yes.
I think Senator Reed knows what a JAG officer is. I think he was just trying to either get gotcha moment or whatever there with Pete Hegseth. 43 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
It's another perfect example of just a lack of sincerity.
It's just a gotcha. I mean, Senator Reed has a pretty distinguished military career, from my understanding. So he knows. It's just one of those things. He tries to catch him off guard and tries to get him. Oh, by the way, could you explain? And Pete handled it great.
He did perfect, masterfully, actually, because he basically turned the whole thing upside down, just like I did to Pocahontas. And a few others there.
Yeah.
You know?
I would have said to him, just like you're not an Indian, I'm not a general.
That would have been priceless.
That's what I would have said. Boom!
That would have been priceless. Oh, man. I can't even, watch her. She's unwatchable.
She's the worst.
You know, that have such a negativity, or an aura of negativity around a person.
Remember when Delgado ran into her in the airport? Delgado ran into her in the airport, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd you guys get along?
I didn't get close. I wanted to.
He avoided. He circumnavigated that TP.
I was told to walk away.
Very nicely, I hope, right?
Oh man, that was beautiful.
The people I was with, they're like, "Don't do it. Just
leave it alone, Delgado." Kind of like what Damon says to you sometimes. Leave it alone, Delgado.
I didn't ask what a jag off is.
No,
that's exactly what that sounded like.
No, you're
exactly what.
But that's what he said.
You're quite innocent in this one.
And what's funny is you see Hegseth stop for a second, like,
I don't know.
should I nail him with this? No.
Yeah.
Because he really wanted to get just.
He could have gone right at him, but he handled it perfectly, and I think that's kind of the synopsis of the whole day was how well Pete handled himself.
Yeah,
and also the amount of times he deferred to Trump in terms of the mandate and Trump's mission and his support of that mission and what he's going to do. You don't hear that. I haven't heard that in other nominations, especially during the lamest administration we've had since Jimmy Carter, which is the Obama administration. They're kind of doing it for themselves,
Never learn.
Right.
They never learn.
Well, hopefully the country's learning. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. Well, you could tell by the election.
You could tell by the election, and then you see them not learning. It was all DEI nonsense, baloney, gotcha stuff. They're not learning.
A lot of companies are dropping that DEI stuff too.
Oh, it's great to see.
Yep. Beautiful.
It is great to see. Even in LA, which I want to talk about when we get back on, what's happening there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. So I'm just looking at the schedule. Pam Bondi tomorrow morning, 9:30. Marco Rubio starts at 10. So we'll have two big ones tomorrow to cover in the morning. If you're with me in the mornings, tomorrow, Bondi, 9:30. Rubio starts at 10. Bondi will have a day 2, by the way, as well, I believe, on Thursday.
Oh.
Now, I've noticed a little pattern here developing, and I see John Solomon tonight, and Just the News has this. Kristi Noem becomes the third Trump nominee to have her hearing delayed because of the, FBI. The hearing has been rescheduled for this Friday at 9 a.m. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's confirmation hearing was pushed back on Tuesday, making her the third of President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet nominees to have their confirmation hearings moved while allegedly waiting for the FBI to complete its paperwork. Noem, who was nominated for Homeland Security Secretary, was initially expected to testify tomorrow morning, but now the hearing is rescheduled for Friday morning at 9 a.m. The committee did not give a reason for the schedule change, but Politico reported that it was because senators were still waiting for paperwork, quote unquote, from the FBI, citing a person familiar with the process.
It's called slow walking it.
Yeah.
Anything to disrupt the process.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So Thursday we'll have Bondi Day 2, EPA Zeldin, HUD Turner, Treasury Besson, Interior Burgum. So Thursday is a very busy day with cabinet hearings. So that's what your Thursday looks like. But tomorrow, Bondi and Rubio will be the two main focus.
And Ratcliffe, it says here.
Ratcliffe when?
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Okay, I don't have that.
That's at the bottom of the Just the News article. Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, CIA Director nominee John Ratcliffe, and Marco Rubio, and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy are all still slated to appear in front of their respective committees on Wednesday.
Okay, there you go.
So there you have it.
49 past the hour. Let's do some news with Vinnie Mac. Vinnie hasn't been here in a week because he's been traveling down in Florida, and we haven't talked to you about what's going on in L.A. And obviously, we just talked a little bit about Pepperdine because it's a place you know well. So what are your thoughts on all this?
Oh, man. I guess you can't help but start just being overwhelmed with the amount of damage and the tragic side of this and the amount of damage happening to neighborhoods. And we've been talking about hypocrisy through this, and it's one of the things that's really driving me crazy about LA. Having lived there, went through COVID there. I was living there during COVID. It was a nightmare. It was one of the, I know New York was pretty bad, but LA was horrible. The folks in LA because they live in these little cocoons like Pacific Palisades, which is one of the most gorgeous areas you can get to, nothing affects them. The homeless, the crime that's going on there, the drugs that they're giving away, all of these things that are damaging the quality of life in LA. Now they have these fires, and now they're all speaking up. They're coming out of the woodwork about how bad their leadership is, the mayor and the governor. And I find that, great, because I'd love to see a change in LA. I mean, it's a great place. I spend a lot of time there. I love it there, and I hate it there at the same time. But to watch the hypocrisy of it, because they live in these isolated places, they're not affected by anything. So they just keep voting these idiots in. And that's driving me a little nuts. And as I thought back, I was in Florida during the last 2 hurricanes. And I'm watching what's going on in LA. And I'm making the comparison between DeSantis and Newsom. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I think I got that right. So I'm looking at the comparison. And I remember a couple of days before the hurricanes were hitting in Florida, DeSantis got out and said, hey, we've got the electric trucks out there. We've got the power guys out there. We've got cleanup crews. They were lined up with trucks all over the interstate in preparation for the next morning to handle the hurricane. That's what leadership is. That's what this guy did. That's the difference between the liberal Democratic parties and leadership in the states that we have and the cities that we have and the Republican or conservative leadership and a guy like DeSantis. Then you look at what Newsom and all of his cronies have not done. They had record rainfall in Los Angeles and Southern California over the last 2 years. Record rainfall. They could have filled up all the reservoirs. They could have had an abundance of water. The unique thing about Pepperdine, why Pepperdine has survived all these fires, they have their own water treatment center. We have a giant lake in Pepperdine. They put that up there purposely. So it's central command for the fire department, and they never have a problem. They're surrounded by fires. They just were surrounded by fires, I think, a month ago. Now, the Southern California and Los Angeles in particular had that opportunity, but their leadership failed them dramatically. So while you see these people voting for these bad leaders over and over and over, and now you have a wake-up call, and that wake-up call is coming out of the wealthy areas now. Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, these places are destroyed. The level of destruction I've never seen in my life, other than looking at war photos. Hopefully, it's a wake-up call, because if you compare the leadership, there's no comparison. You want to live in Florida and have hurricanes and be prepared to have everything cleaned up and be dealt with, safety and power and all that in a matter of days? Yeah. I mean, if you're going to live somewhere that has a propensity for damage, like hurricanes or fires in California, you want to know that your leadership is there and ready to go. And to me, it's one of the most glaring things about the difference between the parties, the difference between the leadership, and the difference between what they actually care about. We know DeSantis cared about the people. He didn't care about anything else. And we can see what Newsom and the mayor there, who's, really terrible. The guy that ran against her, he has a mall in Pacific Palisades. It's one of the only things that didn't burn down. That entire mall. He's an amazing, amazing guy. He should have won the election. LA would have been prepared. And all these friends of mine and people that I know whose homes are burned down, cars are destroyed, all their personal belongings. Good luck getting insurance on top of it. But that's, outside of the damage of the fires and the human side of it, this is what I see. This is just another glaring example of the differences of why we all voted for Trump, why we all support guys like Trump and DeSantis and others. It's obvious, why. And you see people suffering because of bad leadership, and you hope that changes. So,
yep.
Big thing on my mind for that.
I saw Megyn Kelly not only at the Pete Hegseth hearing today. Obviously, she was there to support him, but I saw something she put on social media that said a lot of her friends, liberal friends in California, have contacted her over the last week. She said she's heard from a ton of people, and she said they're all ready to. They've just all have kind of reached that point where it's like, I got to vote for somebody else.
Yeah.
Just enough is enough.
It's great to hear that, and I want to hear it. That my point is, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But my other point is,
believe it when you see it.
No, not exactly that. It's, now you're affected by the policies and the leadership. Now that you're affected, you're changing. I'll take it. But now that you're affected, now you don't, you want to question what's going on. Like, I don't get it. It's like George Clooney's house, burning down, and all of a sudden he's like, well, maybe I shouldn't be supporting these guys. Like, really?
Well, it's that whole NIMBY thing, right? Not in my backyard.
Not
well, now
my
it is their backyard,
Yeah.
and they don't like it. It's like when the illegals were brought to Nantucket.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness!
They gotta go.
They freaked out. They didn't last 48 hours on that island, and they were all rounded up and shipped off. Why? Because that's not supposed to be here. Keep that over there. That's disgusting. You knuckle draggers, go over there.
Well, it's like that. It's like those video jokes where the guys walk up to people's houses and say, "Oh, do you support illegal?" "Oh, yes." "Oh, okay."
Right.
And then they take two guys out of the car and say, "Well, I got a couple guys here actually looking," and then all of a sudden there you go.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's the problem? Well, they're going to stay with you. That's okay, right? It's like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we have kids and we got dogs and yeah. They change their mind real
Right.
quick.
All of a sudden, there's every excuse in the book why. All right, quick hour one, hour two coming up. We'll do sports with Slick, news with Delgado when we get back right after this.
Right up her alley. Oh. Wow.
Okay.
It's amazing. Awesome.
Damon, I forwarded you the official.
I saw
schedule.
it, Fran.
All right.
Thanks.
You can thank the RavMod on the website for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I talked to Travis too. He's lining people up now. Although he's battling the fires now too. He lives right there. That's good stuff. I would do the same. Yeah. We'll make that our top priority. Let's see what's happening here. Carrie Underwood. She's going to be a judge on American Idol, you know that, Slick, right?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's now replacing, I can't believe I know this.
Oh, Katy Perry?
For a long time.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
How do I know this stuff? I don't get it.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
wasn't a judge before?
No, she was a contestant and won, but she never was a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, don't you? Did you vote for her?
I did.
You
Every
did?
night. Twice. I still think she's one of the greatest vocalists I've ever listened to.
She's excellent.
Of any genre.
Yeah, she's great. I agree.
And said what?
You couldn't carry her underwear. Well, there you go, Delgado.
Okay.
Somebody, Staff Sergeant Arby just said in the YouTube chat, "Don't drop your socks, Delgado."
Oh my goodness. So nice and toasty in that bathroom.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Where's our bathroom?
Hello, Janice on Facebook. What's going on? Dave Syverson Damon embraces her entire collection. No, not the entire collection, but I do.
Do you sing in the shower?
She's as good a vocalist as I've ever heard, and I've played the piano for a lot of them. Great singers.
Do you jam out in the shower to the Carrie Underwood?
No. o'clock. Hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Delgado just had the nerve to ask me in the commercial break, what is a Carrie Underwood song?
I don't know a Carrie Underwood song.
Not one?
I got to Google
Maybe
it.
if I heard it, I don't know by name. I'm not like you. I don't have it on a constant rotation.
Yeah,
You've never heard Before He Cheats?
You know that song where she,
Oh, yeah.
How about go back to the
That's like the
original?
most
Jesus,
famous
take
song.
the wheel?
Didn't your girlfriend play that for you once or twice?
Hey,
Exactly, Slick.
Didn't you get one of those? God, nice right down the side of your door of your car last week. I thought I saw one.
that was a long time ago when I had a cool life.
She had a lot of big hits. Feta
did,
cheese.
I guess.
You ever heard feta cheese?
Maybe if I heard
Feta
heard
cheese
the
was
song,
a top 40 hit.
Yes.
If I heard the
mine
song,
Footloose.
I might know it.
You
definitely know
every song.
I
ever.
might know a Taylor Swift song. I couldn't sing it to you because I don't listen. But I might hear and be like,
Well,
oh, yeah, I know
no. Anybody with functional
You got a blank
ears
space.
knows the difference between Carrie Underwood and
I'm not
Taylor
saying
Swift.
there's.
I mean,
I'm
come
not
on.
saying I would confuse them. I'm just saying if you were to play one for me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that song.
You
But I
really,
don't know them off the top of my head.
I mean, listen.
You make it seem like, if you're not carrying Underwood's pants or whatever the hell you're doing, you just don't know
Carrie
music.
Underwood's pants. I
Right.
get you. That's
No,
right.
I get it, Rick. It's
Oh, my
Manilow or
goodness.
bust. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Manilow or bust.
Yeah, I mean, like, what groups do you could name any songs? Like what? Like Zeppelin?
Beatles.
Pink Floyd? I mean, is that more your
actually,
style?
You know what? I hate the Beatles too. I'm not a Beatles fan.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. You know what?
All right,
I'm not a Beatles fan.
Vanish
You're
forever.
banned.
You
Straight
don't
to
understand.
jail.
You
Straight-
don't understand.
Take the segment
He's
off.
a real no-man man.
Growing up on Long Island,
Fool on a hill.
Yeah, fool on the hill.
Fool in a chair.
That's it.
growing up on Long Island,
man.
and being stuck with one rock station that pounded into your head, Beatles and Billy Joel, I've learned to hate
No,
them both.
I can understand that because but the Beatles are just
That's
special.
it. I understand. They're special. I get it.
Billy Joel is too.
The Fab Four, Love
Billy
Me
Joel's
Do.
special.
I get it.
He traded in a Chevy for a Cadillac.
Nobody loves that dude.
Right. I'm just not running out to be like, woo, I can't wait to go.
Are you a Gordon Lightfoot fan?
Only
you
when
can
you
read his
sing.
mind.
Only when you sing it, David.
Well, Delgado, if I took your iPhone and went to the music app, who would I find?
You would find I listen to just about everything.
Really?
Except
Yes.
Carrie Underwood.
Except Carrie Underwood, Dolly
I
Parton.
don't think I have any Carrie Under. I definitely don't have Dolly Parton,
No.
but I know 9 to 5.
How about Steely Dan?
Steely Dan, I love Steely Dan.
Right.
Okay.
You pegged that one.
Now we're
I like
making some
Steely Dan.
progress here.
I like Steely Dan.
Okay, very good.
That song about the girl with the wooden leg.
Yeah.
All right,
That's a good one.
Let's go big one here. Probably more your style. How about Rush?
Rush, I love Rush.
Okay.
YYZ. Come
All right,
on, man.
Delgado, you can stay.
Okay, Milli Vanilli.
Milli
No?
Vanilli.
Okay.
Girl, you know it's
Vanilli.
true.
You know, it's
Love
girl,
that
you
song.
know, girl, you know.
Did you like Milli or Vanilli? Which one?
I liked all 4 of them. The 2 that danced and the 2 that actually sang.
I'm in love with you, girl.
Girl, you know it's true.
You know what? Say what you want about Milli Vanilli. If you listen back to that first album, that was a really good album. Whoever
Yeah.
sang it.
It was a good album with
It
great
was.
performance.
Yes.
They didn't be the one. They weren't the ones performing it.
Right.
That was great
Rab
performances.
Rab and Fob weren't the guys, but the guys who actually did the music, I thought they did well.
All right.
Rob
Okay.
and Fab.
All
I
right.
think it's
Well, you
Fab.
saved yourself with Rush and Steely
Yeah.
Dan.
We're
So
having a Dick Clark
congratulations.
Then I
moment
like
here.
George Thorogood.
Okay.
You like the George Thorogood?
Yeah,
Love
okay,
the George
good.
Thorogood.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray, of course. I got a lot of,
yeah.
I
Cedar
got a lot of
Lemon
Stevie
Jello?
on here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, Delgado.
Molly Hatchet. You like the Molly Hatchet?
Oh,
on,
Delgado.
Let's go, bro.
Okay, all right.
Let's go. Let's throw
All
down.
right, Delgado, you can stay.
Who else
can
you got?
stay.
That's
Who
it.
else you got on your
Iron
little
Maiden.
on your little iPhone there?
All right. He's
Damon, what do you
redeeming
got?
himself.
Oh, I got, well, how about Delbert?
Who the hell is Delbert?
Don't say that to Damon. Do not
Wasn't
say
he like
that
the
to
Office
Damon.
Max guy? Dodge Dilbert.
You like the Bad Religion?
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Emphasis on the trans.
There's no way all those guys are trans.
They're living in Siberia now. That group.
Okay. All right, 4 minutes past. What are we doing here? 4 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
Look, I got the Bing Crosby on there.
That was painful.
Let's do some sports since I skipped it. Yes, McClinton. Bubbles on Facebook, on YouTube's got it. Delbert McClinton, the greatest blues singer that's lived.
You like
Come on,
that?
Delbert.
You like the damn Yankees?
Damn Yankees was my high school days.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
How about Extreme?
I love Extreme.
Okay.
They have a couple songs.
Nunu Betancourt and the
Yeah,
boys?
Nunu, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, let's do sports.
Yeah.
Sports is brought to you by Casey Kasem's Top 40.
Brought to you by Carrie Underwood. Yes.
And yes, I do have Kelly Clarkson on my list. Too.
Kelly
she's
Clarkson
good.
is an
She's
absolute. I really don't think she's underrated, but I think she is a killer vocalist. Man. That girl can sing the phone book.
Love her.
Yeah,
and
so
make it sound good.
So take that, Kev.
Yeah, take that. Sports is brought to you by who? Mike Lindell, My Pillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right. Well, golf legend John Daly announces he underwent emergency hand surgery. John Daly said he would be back playing in no
You
time.
got a beer can frozen to it? What?
Right, you can't feel. Come on now. Let's be nice to John. Golfer John Daly underwent emergency surgery on his hand. He said in a post on his Instagram on Tuesday, emergency hand surgery. Thankful it went great. And Doc McClemens for taking care of me. Be back playing in no time, Daly posted. Daly was lying in a hospital bed in the post, and the location he said was in Tampa, Florida. Daly, 58, is a fan favorite and known for his appearance and attitude on the golf course. Daly dresses in colorful attire on the golf course and is always seen having a cigarette in his hand on the course. He revealed that he hates water and that he used to drink 12 to 20 Diet Cokes a day to replace it in an interview a few years ago. Daly went to the University of Arkansas on a golf scholarship, and in his career, Big D, and you know this, Daly has 5 PGA Tour victories, including 2 major championship wins. Daly won PGA Championship in 1991 and the British Open back in 95.
Want to hear a funny story?
Those were your high school days.
When I was, maybe it was early college days, maybe high school senior, early college days. My actual best friend had a place down at the TPC Sawgrass.
Oh, nice place.
Beautiful place.
They had a condo there, so we went down to see the players. I think it's held in May. We went down to watch the players. This was early. This is probably, I don't know, 1990, late 1990s,
All right.
early 2000s.
Right as he was coming on.
Yeah.
No, not
And,
late 90s, no.
So we go down there and we go to this place called Sloppy Joe's, which is a big, well-known place down there. And John Daly's there.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, he is off the chart drinking. He's on top of the bar. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
He looks like that guy, by the way.
So what I said to the person I was with, I said, how's this guy going to tee off tomorrow at 8:30, whatever it was, 8:15? And we were there to follow him. And he was hot. I mean, I think he had won his first major. He was hot.
Yep.
Well, we get to the first tee tomorrow morning, and guess who DQ'd because he didn't show up? John Daly. Never made it to the tee.
That's awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
So anytime we talk about Sloppy Joe's, boy, that's the story. It's old John Daly at Sloppy Joe's on that night. I think it was Wednesday night.
He was drinking daily doubles. That's what he was drinking.
What a talent.
Yeah.
Imagine if he actually applied himself.
Oh, man.
I mean,
right?
he could have been one of the best golfers of the generation.
yeah.
He still is, by the way. He's a great golfer.
You seen the golf cart he drives
His
around
son.
in now?
No.
The hood lifts up, and it's a cooler,
cooler?
iced full. Yeah, it's
Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Sure. That's awesome.
I swear I don't have a drinking problem.
No, not at all. And, Eagles banned fan who verbally abused Packers fan during wild card game. This became a big story. Dylan Gwynn at Breitbart.
yeah. What a creep! I saw this video.
Unbelievable.
This guy's got a daughter.
Crazy. Fans and social media users reacted with outrage and disgust after an Eagles fan directed a vile rant at a Packers fan during Sunday's NFC wildcard game. Now it appears the Eagle fans are just as furious. The video shows a man in a green Eagles jacket berating a female Packers fan, calling her dumb and ugly, among many other things. According to NFL reporter Derek Gunn, the Eagles have identified both the abusive fan and the woman involved. The Eagles have banned the man in the Eagles jacket from Lincoln Financial Field and have also decided to give the woman some Packers gear. The hate-filled Eagles fan has been identified as Ryan Caldwell. And get this, the Daily Mail reports that he works for a diversity, equity, and inclusion management consultation firm called BCT Partners. Breitbart Warner's
Not
Todd
anymore.
Houston reports. You believe this one? No, you can believe it. Of
What
course.
a creep! And the thing is, and people were on there going, "This guy doesn't represent Philly fans," and I'm thinking, "Well, yeah, actually he does.
Yeah,
That's the
kinda.
problem."
Yeah.
That is the problem.
The problem is that he actually represents them to the T, most of them. Now, obviously not everyone, but You go in there with an opposing jersey on, you're taking your life into your own hands.
I've been wanting to do that for many years, and everybody talks me out of it. Going there with a Dallas jersey of all things.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I'll get fired. I mean, these are the people that threw snowballs with batteries in them at Santa Claus back in the 90s, if you remember that story.
Yep.
And they could be really crazy there. So, well, they identified him, and the company, of course, BCT, which I'm not sure what the acronym was on that one, but they said that this is not representative of their company, and they are, obviously taking matters in their own hand. I'm sure the guy's going to lose his job. Could you imagine losing a job, a career, and you're doing DEI of all things, and you're treating a young lady like that? That's just absolutely crazy.
That's though a perfect example of the hypocrisy of DEI, which is DIE.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, to have a teenage daughter, as I think I read this guy has, and to be speaking to another father's daughter the way he was, it was, I mean, just as low as you can get.
Yeah, it's just incredible. So, and that's a wrap in sports. Big D, back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. 10 minutes past the hour. Let's do some news. And here with that is Rick Delgado. Delgado, what's going on?
All right, some more news. You forgot about ELO.
Are you into David Cassidy music?
I think
you know
I
what?
love you.
That was a big hit.
Yeah.
From my childhood.
Okay.
I could get down with that.
I don't mean that personally.
Right.
I mean that figuratively.
And somebody pointed out, of course, Sabbath, Ozzy. I brought up ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. You know who they are?
How about Peter Frampton?
Oh,
You know who they are?
man, show
Yes.
me the
Okay.
way.
Zach Brown
I'm with
Band?
you on that.
Zach Brown is cool.
Yeah.
Old Dominion?
Old Dominion, I don't know who they are.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How about?
Look at him. Oh, God.
Yeah. He knows about New
Aaron
Dominion.
like that one right there. Aaron like that
Old
one.
Dominion.
All right,
Isn't that a college?
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a trucking company, too, but
Old Dominion, may I help you? Yes, we've got a four-wheeler down there. Thank you.
4 tickets, please.
Would you like to hear a song or do you need a truck? What is it?
Hey, changing the direction right now. 125,000 people have signed a petition demanding L.A. Mayor Karen Bass resign over her fire response. This is, of course, as California's wildfires continue to spread. The L.A. Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley criticized the city's decision to cut more than almost $20 million of funding from the department and says the city let her and the firefighters down. This Change.org petition demanding the resignation of the mayor has surpassed 125,000 signatures. That's as of earlier today. I'm sure it's gotten further than that. Started by a user identified as Frustrated Californian, the petition accuses Bass of gross mismanagement, a lack of leadership during the crisis. The petition also points to Bass' diplomatic trip to Ghana, which left her out of the country when the fire erupted. It also criticizes the city's preparation and resource allocation, including water shortages and underfunding of emergency services. Families, the petition reads, have been displaced, homes destroyed, livelihood shattered, yet Mayor Bass has been absent from the front line. So they want her to step down, and calls for the resignation intensified as the day went on. So there you have it.
Wake up.
Yeah. Maybe this is what it takes. You know, they always say you got to wait till it's bad enough for people to actually make a change. Here it comes.
All right, 13 past the hour. More news with Delgado. Vinnie Mac's got some more thoughts as well. More sports with Slick. Coming up on a Tuesday night live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this. Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah.
Xanadu.
Xanadu was a great song.
Well, you were Rick Friction, the DJ, at one time,
That's
right?
right.
He spun the records.
I spun the
What'd you play?
tunes.
I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. One of those.
Oh, Orange Juice Jones, right?
Orange
the
Juice
rain.
Jones. I saw you.
Orange Juice
I
Jones.
saw you and Rick walking in the
I
rain.
saw you leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
I can't see your
baby.
credit card. Yeah. Yeah. I bought you blue diamonds, silk coats,
I was
Gucci
working.
handbag.
She comes home.
Squirrel trying to get a nut.
Yeah. I packed your bags. Yeah. That song is fantastic.
I know. It's
You're messing with the juice. Remember that? Oh, that was one of the days.
I think I
Reezy
actually
says-
have it on my thing.
They saw the
was it
Beatles at Shea
87,
Stadium. Ree,
Wow.
that is awesome.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's like a lifetime moment.
Delgado doesn't think it's awesome, but
No. Delgado does not think it's awesome.
No, I don't care.
No. He saw Grand Funk Railroad at
Vanilla Fudge.
At the Paramount.
He saw Vanilla Fudge.
He thought it was equal to the Beatles.
He's the head of the booster club for them.
These guys are as good as the Beatles. Hold on.
That's it. The alarm
Beatles
clock.
at Shea. That's like seeing Elvis in his prime. The Beatles at Shea are...
That Beatles at Shea, that's a classic moment.
Child of the King, $20 super chat. Let's cook some fish, throw some bass on the Barbie. Okay. What are you doing?
You'll see. We're jamming.
He's jamming.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, no, we're off. Yeah. We're in the
Go ahead.
chat.
Continue,
Orange Juice Jones.
Continue to jam.
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
Yeah.
Is that how you dance like at the
Get
party?
into
when
the
this
song.
comes on?
You got to get into the lyrics. That's not the hook is nothing. You got to have the lyrics, man.
I'm doing the Trump.
You messing with juice.
Well, now I feel like I should use that music for your reads next.
That guy never had another song after that. Oh, Child of the King. Let's see. What do we got? We got a little.
How you doing, baby?
Child of the King. Super chat, Big D, $20.
I mean, I literally just read it.
Yeah. Oh, do you? I missed it though. I didn't even hear you. I'm so busy jamming out with
so much
Delgado.
I followed you today.
That's right. You cold busted.
Moon Pie's listening to Gordon Lightfoot right now.
Take all your credit cards.
Yeah. Do a Rambo. About the flat black.
MPSAM.
You just got to love the lyric writing on this thing.
Link suit. Link's coat.
MPSAM.
I chill.
Yeah.
Never be the same.
Credit cards. Yeah.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Sound like the blues. Let me talk to you about our friends over at My Patriot Supply. We've seen, we've all seen the headlines. Cyber attacks on our power grids, drones in the sky. Well, those went away quick, huh? Violent attacks on everyday Americans. The ugly truth is no leader, no system can protect you from everything. And the last thing you want to be is standing in line depending on help that may never come. And when crisis hits, food is always your first casualty. Everybody needs it, and panic buying always makes things worse. That's why you have to make sure your family is prepared, and the way to do that is with our friends over at My Patriot Supply. Their 4-week emergency food kit gives you the nutrition you need to stay strong in a crisis. It's 2,000 calories a day, 100% of your daily value of 12 essential vitamins and minerals. This kit keeps you going when every meal matters. Right now, they're offering $50 off their 4-week food kit. $50 off their 4-week food kit. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to grab yours. MyPatriotSupply.com now to grab yours. Don't put it off. Now is the time to prepare. That's MyPatriotSupply.com to get your 4-week food kit. Get it today. Well, attention America, the first 100 days of President Trump's new administration will shape the future of the nation. Will Washington deliver on the promises that matter most, like securing the border, restoring energy independence, and cutting wasteful spending? Well, our friends at AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, are holding our leaders accountable with the First 100 Days Tracker. That's right, this powerful tool will keep you informed on the administration's progress, track key priorities, and empower you to join the fight for a stronger America. And during the critical first 100 days of the second Trump administration, AMAC is offering an exclusive deal, 47% off of the 5-year membership. Let me say it again, 47% off of the 5-year membership. Normally $60, now just $32. 5 years. Join now for just $32. As an AMAC member, you're not just staying informed, you're unlocking valuable benefits like discounts on travel, insurance, retail, and of course, you're receiving America's #1 conservative magazine. Plus, you'll have a voice in Washington through AMAC Action and join a community that stands for conservative values and a brighter future. No matter your age, this is the moment to get involved. Stay informed, stay engaged. Join AMAC today and help ensure promises are kept and America is restored. Visit amac.us/Studio 6B, amac.us/Studio 6B right now to join AMAC at the special rate and access for the first 100-day tracker. That's amac.us/Studio 6B. 47% discount on the 5-year membership. Become part of a movement that's making America great again. $32 for 5 years. amac.us/Studio 6B. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some more news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available at livefromstudio6b.com. Rick Delgado's got the news. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, I was telling you about the recall effort to try and get Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, out of office. Well, that recall effort is also being used against one Gavin Newsom. It's currently underway in California, following, of course, the alleged mishandling of the L.A. fires. The recall attempt to knock California Governor Newsom out, let's go to picture number 1 as well, out of office, is underway, facing sharp criticism for his handling of the L.A. wildfires, but at least he saved the fish. Organizers against Newsom vowed to file the papers in the next 2 weeks in hope of jumpstarting the process that could lead to the Democrats' ouster in the middle of his second term in the governor's mansion. The state chief executive, along with L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, is fighting for their political lives as the wildfires have torched more than 40,000 acres and destroyed more than 12,000 structures. And right now, the death toll stands at 24, but they're not done. So this could be getting even higher. Under the reign of Governor Newsom, living in California, according to the paperwork filed, has become impossible for average people through years of poor policies, which have increased the cost of living, increased crime, increased drug use, and homelessness, increased the cost of the burdens on small businesses and communities, while decreasing our professional standards, education standards, the disappearance of billions of taxpayer dollars to failed pet projects, and our public services. One recall organizer said in a statement, this is Randy Economy said this recall needs to go through. This was also most recently demonstrated, they said, by the woefully unprepared and incompetent response to the fires currently ravaging the Los Angeles area. So
it's the second time.
Yeah, second recall effort. The first one he survived.
So, but he didn't survive overwhelmingly, by the way. It wasn't that big a deal.
But now...
Isn't that the one that our guy, Meek Kevin, ran in?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he's still around. Maybe we'll give him another shot. Here is cut number 11. Here's Sank from the Young Turks. Not only talking about the wildfires and Karen Bass, but also the insurance companies and State Farm in particular, because, you know, like we've been talking about, people have had enough. And I think it's starting to really change things in California, hopefully for the best. Cut number 11. Check this out.
If you don't know, Karen Bass is a goner. She's gone. There's no chance of re-election. And if you're listening to shows that are lying to you and pretending that the people of LA are okay and that they're still backing Karen Bass because of unity and because Trump lied about something, you're totally wrong. Everyone in LA hates Karen Bass now. It's not like, oh, nobody could have seen it coming. When there was profit on the line, all the insurance companies saw it super clearly. So when Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass or any Democrat lies to you and says, oh, no one could have seen it coming, ask them about State Farm, okay? Because that shows you everyone saw it coming. So they're totally and utterly lying when they make excuses for their lack of preparation.
Yeah, so there you have it from Shank or Shank?
Shank, yeah.
Shank.
Shank is seen, I don't know. I mean, like it's like trust but verify, one of those deals with Shank. Yeah. I mean, he continues to somewhat see the light on some of these things. And he's willing to at least sometimes even really not even criticize, but crucify people on his side.
Right.
As he has lately with Biden and Harris and now.
And his partner as well.
Yeah. Well, she's been affected because she's she got mugged or whatever out there in San Francisco. So she understands. It's,
But
again,
I'm sure
going back
maybe-
to what we talked about before, all of a sudden when it's on your doorstep, it's a little different.
You get mugged, all of a sudden you're, illegals. So you're going to be careful with the illegals. The one thing that's totally hypocritical again on this whole thing with the fires. Did you hear I did hear this. The weather forecasts before the fires, about 5 days before the fires, where we're going to have life-threatening winds coming through the valleys, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and all that stuff. They were predicting this. Anybody who's been out there knows that fires erupt out of nothing out there, literally out of nothing. This is not like it came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like we had no clue. If you're getting 100-mile-an-hour winds, what do you think is going to happen with that dry brush in Southern California where fires start if you launch a bottle rocket?
Well, not only that, and then you have people actually starting fires.
Yeah, well, I mean...
So you have the arsonists who are like, hey, there's a fire. Hey, maybe I can do one.
Pile on.
And next thing you know, you've got 3 starting simultaneously miles apart from each other that, of course, have no connection to each other. But you can see it on the... I saw the, what do you call it? The satellite view, and they sped it up, and you see them both, all 3 of them, starting at the same time and just growing. Amazing.
Crazy.
So, there you have it.
Scary.
All right, 26 past the hour. Want to get a little bit into what's going on in the Florida legislature. Guess who played golf today together? Oh, that'd be the governor of Florida and the president of the United States, soon to be.
Ooh.
We'll talk about why.
I like that.
Beth, you got them all.
Oh, man, Run DMC. Awesome.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Fleetwood Mac, we forgot. Somebody put that in the chat earlier. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Joan Jett. All right.
Joan Jett, Long Island gal.
Yes, absolutely. Psychedelic Furs.
The Cult. That's
Love
just
My
me.
Way.
I saw
Al
Joan
Greenfield.
Jett in the airport at Sarasota.
I brought her up on stage.
Did you really?
Did you?
Yeah. Down in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah, she plays down there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
She was
good
doing a
job.
show. I brought her on.
Asia.
What do you mean you brought her on? Did you like announce
Yeah, it was a radio station gig.
Uh-huh.
So I was there to represent the station and brought her up on stage.
Wow.
Wow.
I did the same with Loverboy. Loverboy. I was like, Loverboy. I'm going.
You won't be lonely.
I had a blast. That was fun.
You like walk out on stage and say, "Hey, I'm Rick Fiction from 106.9 FM. Welcome on in,
No.
everybody."
That's when Delgado only worked on the weekend.
Oh, you used Delgado?
No.
Well, what did you use?
I had a different name back.
Friction.
Oh. Stage
Friction.
name. I like
I had a stage name. Everybody told me you can't use your real name. Why not?
That's always
Because
a
people
good
will
idea.
find out where you live.
Yeah, I wish they would have told me that.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
Oh, my God. Another
He's
strike.
back into his DJ.
No, I just hit the button by mistake.
Oh,
You got
yeah,
more
sure,
strikes
by
than
mistake.
Nolan Ryan over here.
Every break, we're getting new music off of the Delgado iPhone.
I got the Guess Who.
Like he's trying to impress us with
The
his
Guess
library.
Who?
Yeah, the Guess Who.
You got
How
a
about
good
Gary
rotation there.
Puckett in the Union Gap?
I don't have that.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Right? The Guess Who?
Guess Who?
These eyes.
I got to start using new names. I'm going to follow
So
in those
many.
footsteps. Chest Rockwell. I don't know. I can come up with some
Ernie
other good ones.
Grabatsky.
Buck something. I got to
What
come up
was
with
the,
something with a buck.
Who was the guy who was back? Chaz.
What?
Band. Oh, he's back. What the band?
Tim Tinnerington. Yes, Tim Tinnerington. Not Tim. Al Ackerman. Al Ackerman.
Al's back.
Al's back. No, he's not. That's the first time I used it. There's the clip.
Al's back.
That's going back there.
I like finding public domain pictures of old bands and cartoon instruments for that bit.
Yep. Al's back. Oh, is that what you were doing? Were you feeding him names?
No, I was when he was ever going to launch into it. I'd have a picture ready of some obscure public domain cartoon band or some marching band from like the 1800s.
That's the best clip. Al's back.
The Archies.
Al is back.
That is good.
Caught.
I mean, you really couldn't.
You knew you caught. Al is back. Yes. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So let's talk, before we get to Vin's news here, let's talk about what's going on in Florida. Because, I think in Florida, you think, well, just everything in Florida gets done because the Republicans smashed the Democrats over the last 2 years. The Democrat Party in Florida is almost non-existent anymore. And so everything is just, they got the America's best governor who sets the bar for all other governors. So everything is just well and great in Florida. Well, not so fast. And the Florida legislature, so the governor, upon obviously, I'm sure in consultation closely with the president-elect, soon to be president again, 47, President Trump, and the governor of Florida are obviously have, I'm sure, been talking. And the governor of Florida came out and said, because he knows time is of the essence and he understands the calendar and how it works, the governor came out and said, we need to call a special session of the legislature back in because we need to be able to hit the ground running after the president is sworn in, especially on illegal immigration. So the governor put out a statement saying that he wanted a special session of the Florida legislature to come back in for the special so they can get on top of what the president, I'm sure they were discussing what he wants. And so the governor put this, well, here, so you get the Florida legislature, specifically House and Senate leaders, some guy named Perez and some guy named Albritton, declares, they come out the other day and say, well, wait a second there, Gov. Your special session talk for issues like immigration and hurricane relief are, quote unquote, premature. Quote, as the people's elected representatives, the legislature, not the governor, will decide when and what legislation we consider. This is coming from these two nobodies. The two leaders said no language for the bill has been released. Calling a special session at this time is premature. In a joint memo from Daniel Perez and somebody Albritton, Ben Albritton. Who? Nobody knows. Who's Daniel Perez, you ask? I have no idea.
No clue.
But the people who put them there might want to give them a ring. So that was about, that was 2 days ago. Well, guess who played golf today? That would be the governor of Florida and the president of the United States, soon to be next Monday. Trump and DeSantis played golf today at Trump's course. And what do you know? What happened? Ron DeSantis this afternoon puts out, President-elect Trump was elected with a mandate to stop illegal immigration and deport illegal aliens already in our country. State and local officials in Florida will actively facilitate the Trump administration's policies against illegal immigration. And to do that, we need to immediately set aside and approve the necessary funding and resources now. As part of the special session I called for January 27th, the week after President Trump is sworn in, I am calling on the legislature to appropriate funding for detention, relocation, transportation infrastructure, local law enforcement support, and everything else needed for Florida to carry out this mission. And President Trump came out today on Truth Social and retweeted that, or retruthed that, and said, basically, I don't have it in front of me, but basically said, thank you, Ron. Let's hope everybody gets on board and all the other governors follow suit. So I don't know who these two in Florida are, and I don't know if there's an update on this special session going forward on the 27th, as the governor and the president-elect would like to see. But if you're in a district where Daniel Perez or Senator Albritton are, it might be time to let them know that you would like to see the Trump agenda and how it relates to immigration, illegal immigration, and seeing the governors around this country, and specifically your governor in Florida, who are ready to act Might be time to let them know that you're on board with them and not these two nobodies who nobody knows or cares about what they think in the Florida legislature, who have decided now's the time to pull their, I don't know, I'm a tough guy card, I guess. I don't know.
It's amazing since Daniel Anthony Perez is a Republican member of the Florida legislature.
Of course.
Representing the 116th House District, which includes Miami-Dade counties. And Albritton, well, he's a Republican as well. Current member of the Florida Senate and former member of the
They represent
Florida
the Romney
House.
wing of. See, this is the problem.
Yeah.
We don't have them just the squishy ones in the federal. We got them all over. They're all over.
Yep.
Even in a place where you think the Republicans are just dominating, you've got them there as well. So, but I was happy to see President Trump today say, "Thank you, Ron. Hopefully, other governors will follow in retruthing that tweet from Ron DeSantis that I just read to you." And he made it clear today, coming off the golf course, that he is, in fact, coordinating with the governor of Florida and in talks with them. And it's time for Romney-esque Perez and Al Britton, or whoever the hell they are, to get the hell out of the way and do your job.
Yeah, I think they're more upset that they're actually going to have to come into work. It sounds like, right? It's like, wait, you can't call a special session. That means I have to leave my house and put on pants. That's what these guys are probably a little afraid of, that they actually have to do work now.
The best thing Trump could do is take some of these dudes down. Whether it's Senate, House, or some of these legislators, take them down. In whatever way you can, make an example of these guys. If you're not gonna play ball with the mandate, get out of the way. He's going to have to do something like that.
Well, they've already seen it.
Yep.
I don't even think he needs to. He just has to go. You remember who Liz Cheney is, right? Just remember, you want to be the next Liz Cheney? Keep it up. I'm telling you, keep it up. They have to play this kind of hardball with them and get them into shape, because some of these guys, they have their own interests. They have their own, donors who say, here, I need you to do this. And yeah, don't follow that. Do this instead. It's that, working against the policy that the American people want, and the people of Florida probably want as well. I'm thinking they want a lot of these illegals out of their state because they're causing
impeding
problems.
the will of the voters, losers.
Right.
Here's the governor of Florida on maybe some other action that he needs to take if these two schleps don't want to get in line.
On the head of a natural disaster, you got people that come here without authorization and they go out and try to loot the place. Give me a break. Those people need to be sent back immediately. So this will end up helping the overall situation, even apart from immigration. Now, the accountability is significant. If those duties are clear in law, I have the authority with respect to certain officials to suspend them from their office if they are neglecting their duties. And that's a authority that I have invoked when it's been appropriate in the past. We also need to make sure that we don't have incentives for people to come illegally. We enacted E-Verify. People said that couldn't happen. We really did probably the strongest legislation in the country in 2023. So I think Florida has really done a great job, with one lingering exception. So back in 2014, the legislature enacted and then the then governor signed legislation providing preferential tuition for illegal immigrants, in-state tuition. That is a benefit that you're rewarding somebody for being here illegally. On the head.
So there's a little bit from the governor, and if he has to, as he said, fire certain public officials who are not following their duties, then maybe that's what he needs to do.
It's another example of that leadership thing I was talking about before. DeSantis calls a special session to deal with the issues that are forthcoming when Trump gets in office. Newsom creates a $50 million fund, an anti-Trump fund. This is the two guys. These are two governors trying to lead their states. One guy saying, let's get it together. We got to get stuff done. We got a mandate. Let's go. The other guy saying, oh my God, I got to fight this thing tooth and nail. I don't care if there was a mandate. By the way, more people voted for Trump in the state of California than have in elections in over 20 years for a Republican. It was unbelievable. Just like with New York. It's going to change. Guys like Newsom got to wake up. But there's the difference in leadership. Petty stuff.
Here's a reporter asking, why are you in such a rush to do this now? He's not even in office. Here's what the governor said.
Timeline more on why is it important to have this done the last week of January instead of waiting until the first week of March?
because the policies are going to go into effect the week of the inauguration. And so you can have, and it's not just the first week of March. I mean, some of this stuff wouldn't take effect potentially later if you do it in regular session. That's typically the process. So why would we want to twiddle our thumbs when we know that this is a major initiative? This is probably the most significant initiative, domestic initiative, that the new administration is going to do. So we need to be ready. And everybody who's in law enforcement, state and local, they need to know you have responsibilities to help facilitate this important interest for our country. We'll provide you funding for it, but you got to be on the team here, and I think you need to do that on day one.
Yeah, just can we just clone this guy 50 times, please, and put him in every state? Because this is the way red state governors should be acting.
That's right.
Instead of what we get most of the time in these red state governors, pushing legislation that you would think came from Governor Hochul here in New York. And that's the problem, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. If only this was if this was the DeSantis who wanted to be president.
Yeah.
Because he listened to the wrong people.
All right, 40 minutes past the hour. Let's do a little more news with Vinnie Mac. Vinnie Mac, what else is on your mind?
Well, you know who's not going to be at the inauguration? Michelle Obama. It's getting a lot of press, and I just want to say, Michelle, I really don't care if you're there or not. One of the most divisive people
right?
in politics, first lady or not, as divisive as it gets. But I wanted to talk about the following. Donald Trump and his vision. And as a visionary business leader, first he created Space Force, which is slowly becoming one of our more important military institutions because a lot of the future wars are going to be fought with unmanned things, using satellite communications and other things that go into space or out of space and around space. So he creates Space Force. Then we get DOGE. I think we all know what that is. We love Ramaswamy. We love Musk. They're going to go in there, hopefully clean up a lot of things, save some money. Today, Trump announced the External Revenue Service. And I love this because all of the things that we do with our government to collect money from other countries, particularly a lot of these tariffs and things that Trump's talking about, we don't know what happens. We don't know if any of this money is ever collected. We don't know if there's anyone even watching. We barely know how our money's being spent. You would think we know anything about money we're collecting. So he's creating the External Revenue Service to collect on tariffs, duties, and all that revenue that comes from foreign places. And I think it's brilliant in a sense because we can track this stuff now. There's an agency out there collecting it. There are countries that are delinquent and paying us back at every level that you can imagine, and it doesn't matter because there's no consequences. No different than what happened at the UN when he went in and said, hey, you're not paying your bills, we're not going to defend you. All that uproar. Well, it's very similar, but now he has a facility to manage these things and go after folks. And I think it's brilliant in many ways. So I thought that was an interesting note that came out today. Just another area that Donald Trump is showing how different he is than any other politicians, how he's thinking about the country in very creative ways to make things happen. And it's the exact result, for me personally, that I wanted to see from a guy like Donald Trump. Take that.
All right, we'll come back, wrap it up. On a Tuesday, live from Studio 6B. We'll get around to everybody as we wrap it up here right after this.
I'll name the dogs. Who's that from? I'll name the dog, baby.
I like Blake.
You do? Since when? Name one Blake Shelton song.
I can't.
At gunpoint, you couldn't name one.
I probably like a Carrie Underpants song, too. But I can't name it.
But that is song, Helter Shelton. No.
It's not
Just tell me what it is.
Carry under wood, not carry under pants.
Whatever.
Keep your wood in your pants.
Yeah, SpongeBob over here.
Separate your wood in your pants, would you please?
Is she hot?
I like Vance and DeSantis. Leanna's talking about that on social, and she's right, man. I love those two guys as a possible ticket going forward. That's a legacy type of ticket. After Trump, Vance, after Vance, DeSantis, or vice versa. I like it. It's good to see we finally have some candidates, that you can get excited about, once, beyond Trump.
How'd you like to be on that 18 holes today with those two?
Wow.
Could you imagine?
Oof.
Oh, man.
Man.
He is working so hard and getting so much done, this guy. He's not even in office yet, but look at the amount of activity and things that have happened.
Laid a lot of groundwork already, right? Man.
He's moving balls.
Damon, think about doing something with your music for the show. You'll drive the audience crazy. Something simple will suffice.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Maybe we create a song.
I don't know. Yeah, but then you can't play it because then you get a strike.
Well, no, we make our own. We have enough talent in this room to do that.
Somebody made us a song and we can't play it.
Well, that's because he put in for the copyright. If we don't put in for it, then we could play it. So we won't get our own strike on our own music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We can create that. A couple of harmonies. And my friend Greg said that his brother-in-law is from England, and Led Zeppelin played at his senior prom in 1965.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Led Zeppelin playing at your prom.
No.
I just think that's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
40 kids? It must have been, right?
1965. I think Zeppelin broke in the late 60s, right?
Right. So
68, 69.
They were like a garage band at the time.
Yeah.
What are you giggling about?
Dave Syverson said if I make a song, he'll rap over it. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's see if we can get around everybody here as we wrap it up for a Tuesday night. Slick's got sports. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS 6B is the code. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, NCAA Men's Division I basketball. A little bit of an upset. Number 4, Alabama falls to Ole Miss, 74-64. Ole Miss's Malik Diop with 23 points to lead all scorers, so a little bit of an upset there. Illinois, 94-69 over Indiana. We had Texas A&M toppled by Kentucky, 81-69. Marquette in OT over DePaul, 85-83. Good game there. Miami and Duke. Duke leading that one 44-19. That'd be number 3. Duke taking care of business. 4 to go there in the first. And Missouri, 44-32 over Florida. And we got Wisconsin up 37-20 over Ohio State. To the ice, NHL action right now. Panthers and Devils tied at 1, 12 to go there in the third. Also in the third, 1-0. The Senators blanking the Islanders. They're playing well. They're playing at UBS Arena. You barely score. Islanders fill it all the time. Got Jets over the Canucks, 5-0, end of 2. And the 1, Rangers and Avalanche tied at 1. Rangers having a struggle as well. NBA action, the Bulls over the Pelicans, 86-85. 2 more seconds to go there in the third. And the Nuggets over the Mavericks, 19-6 early there. And some good news. I got a great sports story. House passes bill to shield K through 12 sports from transgenderism. This is Elizabeth Wiebel of Breitbart. Sports advocate Riley Gaines cheered as the House of Representatives passed a bill protecting women's sports from males who insist they are transgender women. The Protection of Women's and Girls Sports Act passes the House with 2 Texas Democrats, Gonzalez and Ciula, voting in support, making it bipartisan, Gaines wrote, in response to the bill being passed on to the Senate.
Yes, technically, but 230 Democrats voted against it.
I know, it's 218 to 206. Vote on Tuesday. The House passed H.R. 28, also known as the Protection of Women and Girls Sports in Act of 2025, which prevents, as I said earlier, and the outlet noted that while transgender identifying identifying athletes are not allowed to play on women's sports teams, transgender identifying students will be able to practice or train with a program designated for women or girls. Kicking girls off sports teams to make way for biological males takes opportunities away from these girls. Well, this is Representative Tim Walberg, Congressman from, I believe it's Maine. This means fewer college scholarships and fewer opportunities for girls. It also makes them second-class citizens in their own sports and puts their safety at risk. I mean, just stating all the obvious and checking, obviously, all the boxes. So good news there. Now they have to go on to the Senate to get that passed. So we'll see. Hopefully that will happen.
Those two things. There's that legislation, right? And then the one on Lincoln Riley, where Democrats almost overwhelmingly voted against both of those things.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and it's crazy, but it's not being talked about as crazy, because it is complete lunacy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a wrap in sports. Big D, back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Vinnie Mac, anything else on your mind before we wrap up with news with Delgado?
Yeah, I think last time I was on the show, I was talking about one of the biggest threats we have, which is China and their digital havoc they're going to cause in our country. And Christopher Wray basically said that on a 60-minute interview, in his exit interview, saying how they are very aggressively targeting our infrastructure, our social media, and various other areas. And this is a real threat. It's a significant threat. They have been mining our digital footprints and digital technology for a long time within businesses, infrastructure, and all these things. I feel like it's a sleeping giant waiting to strike. Warfare is not going to be typical. Like, we're not going to have battleships going across with China and fighting them. This is what they're going after. And to hear the FBI director, who I can't stand, who's a big phony, but he happens to be right on this one. This has been going on for a while, and I think I mentioned my friends over at Black Ops Partners. This is what they do. They do wargaming for companies to try and protect against this stuff. They will tell you firsthand the biggest threat we have to our country is China and is a cyber assaults from China, and they are more than prepared to do it, and they are more than positioned to do it. We are very vulnerable. So if Donald Trump is watching, or anybody watching in our intelligence departments, security departments, this is an area we have to step up big time.
All right, very good, Vin. Let's do a little more news before we wrap it up. By the way, I have inside information that says Led Zeppelin did not play, at least as Led Zeppelin. Maybe they were something else, but Zeppelin didn't form until 1968.
68, right. It may not have been as Led Zeppelin, but the guys in Led Zeppelin.
Maybe they were the Zeppelis.
Yeah. So they were called Fred Harris and the Two Tones.
Yes, Fred. Yes. Fred Timmerin and the Two Tones don't qualify as then Led Zeppelin 3 years.
They were still at the bottom of the stairway.
Delgado's got news. Delgado, let's wrap it up. What else is going on?
All right, I have Barry White, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and classic Rick James on my stuff as well.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Like before Super Freak. I'm talking classic Rick James.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Speaking of super freaks, Delgado.
Oh, give it to me, babe.
Here's a story out of Chicago. You talk about the China
good band
threat.
too.
There's also Chicago's a great band as well.
Yeah,
thank you.
Too. There's the threats here in the homeland, and we again, when you see what happened in New Orleans, the explosion in Las Vegas as well. This story coming out of Chicago, as a man has been charged with misdemeanor after a CBP Chicago Police Department bomb unit responded to a Southside high-rise yesterday regarding the possession of ammunition, among other things, including C4 explosives in the Chicago residence. Here's a local ABC News report on this suspicious findings in this apartment. This is cut number 5. Check this out.
Guys, the suspicious materials in question were apparently discovered by a contractor who was scheduled to service the units inside this apartment building. We talked to her, and what she says she found were pretty clear red flags that needed to be reported to authorities.
Now pay attention to what she found.
I had the master key, and I went in there, and I came across a lot of things, and I was like, that don't seem right.
Melissa Caraway works for an HVAC company that was scheduled to service units at 533 East 33rd Place in the Lake Meadows neighborhood. She says residents get advance notice that they'll be making the rounds and entering their units. When no one answered the door, she says she let herself in.
And I came across some C4, some explosives, a rifle, a lot of fake IDs. a lot of fireman stuff, a lot of police force stuff, and it just looked like it was fake, you know.
She says the discovery happened around 10 a.m. in a unit on the 6th floor. She wasn't sure what to do at first, but says she called police about a half hour later. Video of the response shows law enforcement with ballistic shields, others with rifles. The entire building was evacuated, officers going door by door to tell residents they needed to leave.
I was afraid because I didn't know what was going on. So, again, I've been out here since like 11:15, 11:30, and I still don't have any information.
After several hours inside, CPD says its bomb unit cleared the scene as a precaution, determining the objects were safe and posed no threat. Police say someone was placed into custody on the scene, but no further information was provided.
You know, the bombing
you can
that
wrap this
happened
up because
in New
basically
Orleans.
Why I brought this, why it caught my attention is because of what we've seen with terrorist attacks in this country. And when you're talking about people dressing up as firemen, as policemen, fake IDs, C4 explosives, rifles, other IDs and stuff, it's almost like
that sounds like a sleeper cell,
right? Exactly.
Hideout.
It sounds like something if was being run out of that apartment. And luckily for us and the people in Chicago over there in that area, this lady came across it and notified the police.
By the way, good for her, because I'll tell you, you can see a lot of people going in there who don't want to be bothered and say, "Oh God, I'm out of here."
That's a big deal.
But when you consider, say an accident or an explosion happens, and people see the fire department or police department, their guard goes down because they think here's help coming to help. It could be the other way around, where they're dressed up as help, but they're there to hurt.
Yep.
So, anyhow, so that wraps that up. Just wanted to bring that.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Thanks, guys, on the show. Vinnie Mac, welcome back. We'll see you on Thursday. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, live from Studio 6B audience. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here live from Studio 6B.